afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for April 4th, 2021, Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. How many of us practice being our own best friend? How many of us offer a random act of kindness to ourselves? How friendly are we with ourselves? Are we our own best friends? Because when you come, I've said this so many times, it is all about you. It's all about you. Everything that you do, that you think, that you feel, affects everything around you. Always affects everything around you. So imagine that we don't know ourselves, that we have been so distracted throughout this life that we've been drawn to the external authority and external reality, the material world. And people might say, well, how do you know this is, why is it just all about me? That's a real selfish thing. Well, it's like everything. There's a good selfish and a bad selfish. This is a good selfish. When you see from a person, from a watcher, let's not judging, but as you can see all the turmoil in relationships and interactions and people, just all of us on this planet, and all of the anger and the hatred and fear and the greed and all of it, it is because we have spent very little time within. And many of us, if at all. Does that make us bad? No, it doesn't, not at all. It just means that there comes a time in any civilization where you start kind of putting the dots, connecting the dots with yourself. You stay out of judgment, and you start realizing that, man, I haven't been home my entire life. And the home is within you. That's our natural home. That's our natural state of being. It's within us. So when we are in this external pole, if you will, the ego, the mind, the subconscious mind, and constantly distracted with everything outside of us. It's not a difficult thing to fall into that trap for many lifetimes, not just this one. But we focus on the now with this lifetime that we're all participating in. And everybody in these meditations, and others are on the planet, understand that this is about them, each of us. It's not about ego. It's not about how many spiritual lessons you've taught others. It's not about how much you've learned and studied, and it isn't about anything like that. It is about you. I've communicated with so many different people and gurus and spiritualists and everything that the egos have just run them, and they believe that they're in control of their egos. None of us are exempt from our egos. There isn't one of us that is. But we learn, we practice, and we just do it over and over again because we know eventually will be automatic. It won't be something that we'll have to do or we have to think of. It's we choose to do. And once you discover the absolute pure bliss of being within and how everything externally changes for you, and not in a bad way, you're not going to ever want to leave home, which is within you. Not a building that you sleep in and a roof over your head. I'm talking about your true home, the home within you. And there's so many avenues, isn't there? There's so many that we can pick and choose. That doesn't mean, for us, it's like if you wear a size small and you put on an extra large, it's not going to fit, right? But some of us try to force it to fit. And this is what we do with our existences. If you look at, we talk a lot about enlightenment. And enlightenment is the moment when the wave realizes that it is water. And every particle, every existence has a consciousness. Even a quark, quantum particle, has a consciousness. It can decide where it goes. And remember, whatever's been given to you in this material world can be taken away from you. There is a spiritual liberation within each of us. And we can learn how to cultivate its presence in each of our lives. Because guess what? We are all the masters of it all in the end. Literally, we are all the masters of it all in the end. We've been so trained to look outside of ourselves all the time. And not just this life, but thousands of lives. Thousands of them. And when I say it's all about you, it really truly is, because of the fact that it's up to you to choose to go within yourself, to discover what your body holds, the God source, of which we all are. There's no guilt in that. There's no shame. Those are all illusions anyway. Do you know why we all experience suffering in this life? It's only because of one thing. Only one thing. Ignorance. Take the word ignore. Okay? And add a little dance to it. And you get ignorance. When we ignore the truth, which many do, when we ignore the truth of our infinite being, our ignorance expands and soon transfers us onto the path of suffering. So how would we transcend our own ignorance and find spiritual freedom in our lives again? It's deciding to take the path into a deeper awareness of who and what we are, and welcoming the most profound state of consciousness we can imagine. it's kind of like opening up your own consciousness. It actually is. We can release anything instantaneously that would make us suffer. Nothing more than pure, unmitigated awareness is needed to transcend this illusion and rediscover the liberating truth of who and what we are. Each moment, because it's every single moment, each moment, the now that we talk about so much in these meditations, each moment of our lives has the complete potentiality to become the most liberating, healing, enlightening experience we can handle. But if we aren't open with ourselves, and we're constricted, and we're not willing to receive something magnificent, then it's blocked. Then we wander. But if you open yourself up, totally vulnerable, it will find you. You don't have to go after it. You don't have to strive for it. In fact, it's really interesting, and I think maybe some of us discover this, that the harder you work for it, the further it moves away from you. So it's all about us choosing. No one else choosing for you. It's about you choosing for yourself. So you can choose to just make it your priority to completely relax and enjoy your life. Fully surrender to your real self. And then begin to discover who you truly are. What you really want. What your purpose on this planet actually is. At what spiritual level. Life is wild. Love is wild. God is absolutely wild. Those who are wild always reach enlightenment. Also, if you choose to play in this illusion, if you choose to play in this illusion on this planet, the external world, the external authority, you will suffer. It's absolute. It's an absolute. You will suffer. But when you choose to immerse yourself within, this is the beginning to end all suffering. Now, your ego and mind, they'll argue with you. They'll try to convince you, make you feel uncomfortable and not real easy about it, feel funny about it. Because I guarantee you they will. What would happen if you chose not to be right about everything? What would happen? Have you ever been pulled to being right, where we want to be right? I'm right about this, I know that. And being right can be the hardest ego trip to get rid of and to get off of. Because guess what? It causes a major amount of suffering. How do we feel insecure? Well, it's easy. This is about discovering yourself. when your ego believes that it is wrong about any one thing, any little thing, doesn't matter, little, average, big, it starts feeling insecure. And insecure that you basically could be wrong about everything in your entire life. Because whatever our minds believe is true always becomes our reality in that moment. If any of us think that we must fight to get what we want in this life, we end up moving energy into form, creating it into reality, in a very serious, challenging ride. And so you ask yourself, well, how am I supposed to experience love, enlightenment, and freedom? Well, that's when you choose to step over your ego and be open to a completely new experience of this life in each and every single moment. So if you look at it, try to view it from this perspective. You got two playgrounds, right? You've got the inner playground, and then you have the outer playground. So you have the world within you, okay, and the world outside of you. Those are your two playgrounds. Now, ask yourself, what are you which massive playground are you attracted to? This world is one massive playground. It's what it is. Both of them, both of your inner world and outer world are massive playgrounds. How many of us haven't learned how to be free and have fun within our lives? Imagine for us, each of us, to begin to choose that to think of each new day as our chance to step on to a very interesting and comical life stage. You can even choose any hat to wear, lens to see through, or fascinating role that you desire to play. When we choose to let go of doing things, doing, and practice simply being, see, there's a lot of people. I got to do things. I got to get this. I got to get these things done and everything. Well, that's understandable. But how long has it been since you've actually practiced simply being? What is that? Well, it means that you sit and do nothing. You go within. You focus on your breath. And this is what's really wild. It has become on this planet abnormal for people to just relax, sit still, be silent and alone. That blows my mind. That's abnormal, guys. For us to just relax, sit still, be silent and alone. Doaholics have become the social norm on this planet. Many people avoid meditation because they think it is boring and they don't have time for it, or they feel they have failed at it. Trying to quiet their mind after a few random attempts. And then, on top of it, when we realize that all of our suffering, chaos, illness, in this life is caused by our inability to quiet the mind. We will then begin to spend more time practicing being present and less time invested in doing something, thinking it will take us somewhere better than being here, in this now. So you can choose to practice just being, and make it the norm for all of us, for people to just relax, sit still, be silent and alone. And we know in our heart minds that with enough time spent practicing being present into the now, we will discover our real infinite nature housed within us. We will realize we are spiritual beings and have everything we were looking for and so much more. I bet most people don't know that most of those on the path of enlightenment in the history all discovered enlightenment. And this is how they discovered it. When they were simply being quiet, relaxed, and fully in the here now. All of them. Buddha, Christ, all of them. When they realized that we are spiritual beings and have everything we were looking for and so much more. And by simply being quiet, relaxed, and fully in the here now, that's the big awakening. That's when things happen. They weren't trying to do anything. Really, nothing. What did Buddha do? He sat under a Bodhi tree for days doing nothing. Nothing. But is that the norm on the planet? No, it's outside the box. It's weird. So you really could say this. This is the great mystery of this life. And it is also the mastery of the mind is by far the greatest achievement mankind can ever have, will ever have. The experience of being here now, not your past, not a future that doesn't exist yet, but being here now, feeling one with the infinite, all-powerful, omniscient, universal God force is enough. You can feel how empowering and highly enlightening it is to redefine all those old definitions of what it means to get somewhere special in your life. This society has had a deep ignorant programming. That's how, how do I put it? To be reminiscent or interactive with the child that you were, that you still are in certain ways. What was, when we were children, what was communicated to us about enlightenment? Do any of you remember that? Does anybody recall that when you were a child, did someone, talk to you about enlightenment? Anything? Did anybody have a clue what enlightenment was? Or even how to experience an enlightened state of bliss? Did anyone ever show us how to open our chakras, meditate, or communicate with God? I'm talking about little kids, little children. of which we all were, little bodies. Most likely, everyone around us at that time was more or less spiritually lost. And then telling us what they believed would make us happy, loved, and successful in this life. They wanted the best for us, yet ended up communicating to us how to be unhappy, unenlightened through their actions, belief system, and behavior. What was the story we were told? What was it? If you go back about your childhood, what do you remember was the typical standard story you were told that made you feel like a failure, isolated, unloved, or a sense of separation? What belief system did we inherit from our family that created massive limits on how we felt about ourselves and life today? Now, we may have had or heard some messages like, you need an education to become somebody. There just isn't enough time for that. You can't do that, right? There's not enough time for that. Stop doing that. We can't afford that. You cannot do or have X, Y, Z. You're too much of a blah, 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 blah. And as children, we're like sponges. I mean, we're taking in everything. Yet, if we did not become identified with our family's limiting belief system, we may not be here in this life. If we didn't think like they did, they might have stopped feeding us and pushed us out of the tribe. We needed to think small, do what we were told, and obey the one in charge in order to remain accepted, loved, and alive. We've been taught as a civilization, from the moment we were born, we received the idea that this unenlightened state of life was, guess what? The norm. And what did we do? We watched TV as we grew up and may have seen situations, the insane world problems on the nightly TV news, and thought that this was how the entire world operated, and mass suffering was just the way things were. So then we grow, our little bodies grow, going into teenagers, and then we either rebelled or became assimilated into this unenlightenment system. And then we fell deeper into the story of separation. And the more that we accepted or rebelled from our community, the greater our feelings of lack, isolation, struggle, suffer grew inside of us. Being surrounded by unenlightened people was an enormous lose-lose situation. Being surrounded by unenlightened people is an enormous lose-lose situation. This is all stuff that must be expressed and not hidden. And to make matters worse, I've taught countless kids, including myself, where we were forced to attend some jail-like educational system which worked about 3% of our brain's potentiality and was designed to churn once brilliant, creative kids through a social formatting grinder so they became hard little workers for the system. We were taught wonderful lies that everyone believed to be true, like how a human life expectancy should only be, maybe 75, 100, maximum 120 years old. When really, our DNA can last hundreds and thousands of years. We were told that we would have to work really hard to have a home, limited energy, resources, food, knowledge, and power. We were never taught to rebel against authority, think freely, independently, or even consider the possibility of becoming spiritually enlightened. Our school systems made it illegal to teach children how to find a deeper interconnection with the infinite source within them. It was not important to learn how to meditate, heal your body through your breath, or how to make tantric love, master your mind through total quietness and stillness, enjoy all of your emotions, know the infinite truth of who and what we are, and how to truly achieve absolute inner freedom and bliss. So this is why a lot of you and a lot of us are irritated and stressed. The society around all of us is still hypnotizing adults and their children to believe that success is all about achieving a higher level of status, money, and career. Our poor educational system is still in its infancy and simply has never had a large dose of enlightenment, so it doesn't know any better. Now, there's a flip. There's many awakened beings in this world today who know the truth that real success in this life is only defined by how liberated, spiritually rich, loving, and enlightened you are as a human being. And this world is waking up, one person at a time. People are beginning to see that happiness is not something you can attain from striving to achieve the right income, status, career, marriage, or diploma. Striving to reach these things will only distract each of us from walking our spiritual path and then discovering the most rewarding life experience of them all, you. And if we all were to remember whatever limited ideas that we received from our family or school system, remember this, were their limitations, not yours. It was their limitations, not yours. And when you choose to stop and give back those beliefs, give them back. You can do it. It's okay. Give them back. You can reclaim your spiritual freedom again within yourself. That's it, period. And the limiting beliefs handed down from your family run deep in your blood, and it will take every ounce of awareness inside each and every one of us to see them. Then, freedom will occur when they are fully seen, felt into, and released from your mental, emotional body, as well as your subconscious mind. The library, the subconscious mind, remember, it's where we store everything. As soon as we enter these bodies, we start storing in our subconscious mind, our library of everything. And we must choose, we must forgive all of these people of their unenlightened programming if we are ever to be fully free. It is all karmic, and nobody is to blame They simply were not taught by their parents how to live a constant state of wonder and amazement in their lives while doing daily tasks like changing diapers, cutting the grass, going to work, paying their bills. When we forgive them and see how they were not raised by fully self-realized, self-actualized, enlightened beings, we can easily forgive ourselves for the limiting beliefs and negative feelings about ourselves that we inherited. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. Now, a lot of us will, you take external stuff in this society, in this civilization, artificial relaxation. Someone thinks if they drink enough, they'll pass out and they'll get good rest. It doesn't work that way. I think we all found that out through this life. To naturally relax your body, you're all in a comfortable position. You're all seated. You're relaxing the body. Focus on just being, doing nothing, looking for nothing. Just sit and be quiet. I'm not saying that if you're a hurried person and you always feel guilty if you aren't doing something. That's the conditioning of the civilization. But when you consciously know this, and you're able to slowly but surely move out of it. Forgive and forget. Move forward. And by being and practicing being, all this external stuff will immediately change. And your perspective will be a whole lot different. So as you do this, the body is going to automatically relax. You're the master and commander. You're actually the master and commander of the ego and the mind. You're the master and commander of the subconscious mind, your library. You're also the master and commander just about of everything. The ego and the mind, while you use them in this life, when they're your servants, are absolutely wonderful tools. Same with subconscious mind, your library. You know when to clean it out, say, all that stuff that I've just been talking about, all that we've been taught by others, which they were taught by others, and so on and so forth. And understand that on this planet, the truth is the lie, and the lie is the truth. So your body relaxes. Cannot not. You let go of all the things, all the stresses, anxieties, fears, worries, hurries, and just be. I guarantee you the body's just going to sink right into the God that you are. Right in that God easy chair. And then we move into the now. And the now is all we really have. It's the moment to moment, the space between heartbeats. We don't have anything else. Do you think you have a past? You don't. It's gone. Whatever you did in your past means nothing in this now moment. Nothing. Whatever accomplishments you had, whatever you did, mean nothing in this now. You see how we can get tied up with it? Drag it with us? Have the ego get all, look what I've done, look what I've created. We let go of that. And we're in the now. And by being in the now, what do? We still the mind and the ego. We still the subconscious mind. Because we step outside of it. We leave them alone. It's amazing what happens when you leave your mind alone. The past, all of us, we've all experienced in the now, which is gone, which we call the past. Past tense. Inert, dead, however you want to describe it. Elephant graveyard. But we have memories, so we visit the memories because, we enjoy certain memories. We keep things because of the memories. They're keepsakes, see? We have memories and things. We like certain things. We enjoy the life. This is our massive playground. This is one of them outside of us. The other one is inside of us. And it's our choice to choose which one. Or maybe both. But some of us will go into that past and will sit in that elephant graveyard with all the carcasses and bones, and we'll live there. And sometimes we will live there so long that we'll take that past into a future that doesn't exist, create that past from that future, and relive that past in that future. This is why so many people scratch their heads and go, why do this seems familiar. I always seem to end up some way, shape, or form in the same place. Then some of us will go into the future. It's fun to go into a future that doesn't exist, isn't it? We just go into the future, it doesn't exist, and we just kind of wander around and say, what if this and what if that? I wonder when this is going to, and I wonder when that's going to happen. If it does happen, what's it going to be like? But the now is our power. The now. Just the moment, moment to moment. I don't care if you're picking your nose, it's the now. How do we stay in the now? It's not easy to stay in the now for a lot of us. Reason is because we're so used to wandering off in thoughts. And it's funny because most of those thoughts aren't ours. But we wander off. It's not a bad thing, but imagine being consciously aware that you're wandering off. So you say, okay, so I'm catching myself. I'm wandering off. I don't know what I'm doing in these thoughts. They don't make any sense. So you focus on your breath. Every time you focus on your breath, you're in the now. Guaranteed 3,000%. You are in the now every single time. So your breath is divine positive energy. It focuses you. It relaxes you, eases you, strengthens you, concentrates you. It's divine positive energy because it also sustains the vessel that houses the kingdom of God within it. The soul, a piece of the God, the one God. So every time that you wander off, focus on the now. Through your breath, the divine positive energy. Now remember, you're standing outside the body. Kind of, you're floating, right? And we're always floating anyway. And so you see these just beautifully vibrant colored lights, wheels of light, running from your tailbone to the top of your head. And they're beautiful colors. And they're beautifully shaped flowers. Each one's different, and each one has a different geometrical shape inside of it. It is spectacular. And we see there's the red wheel of light that's right at our spine, tailbone. And this deals with all of our survival. It's the root chakra, the Muladhara. And what is our survival? Our career, our money, mindset, sense of belonging, feeling centered. You know what I mean? not crooked or anything, but feeling centered in your life, feeling balanced in your life. That's our survival. And our survival is backed by our fear. And our fear is conjured by what? Our ego mind. And so we're powerful beings, so we move energy into form and create reality. So we take the thought of fear and we turn it into a reality. And it blocks our survival. Then we move to the orange wheel of light. This is the sacral chakra, the Vadhisthana. This is our pleasure, our sexuality. It's our connection and ability to accept others and new experiences. It's phenomenal. And it's blocked by guilt. Oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm having too much fun. I'm enjoying this too much. Okay? Guilt. And then we move to the golden yellow wheel of light, willpower. The solar plexus chakra, Manipura. This is our personal power, our ability to channel, to be heart confident and in the flow of our lives. And it's blocked by shame. Then we move to the emerald green wheel of light, the heart chakra, the Anahata. Love. It's our ability to love. It's our love center, our relationships and self-acceptance. And it's blocked by grief. Then we move to the blue wheel of light. This is the throat chakra, the Vishuddha. This is our ability to communicate. It's our self-expression. This is our truth. And it is blocked by lies. Then we move to the indigo wheel of light. This is the third eye chakra, the Ajna. This is our intuition, sense of purpose, seeing the big picture, our direction in this life. And it is blocked by illusion. Then we move to the crown chakra, the Sahasrara. This is literally the highest chakra. It represents our ability to be fully connected spiritually. Our connection to the divine, the cosmic energy force, life force. And of all things, it's blocked by ego attachment. Now we're consciously aware, each of us, gathered in this meditation on and off world, that we are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And these bodies that we're in, the heart mind, the ego mind, the subconscious mind, the higher self, the spirit, the soul, the pure consciousness, the God, all one. And we are literally heaven on earth. The soul is the heaven. The body is the earth. We are heaven on earth. And every step we take on this planet, we are creating paradise. We cannot not be creating paradise. And we've learned through our enlightenment that we're shining our light outward. Our God force, love, light, energy, our very core existence, our very being, we shine it outward. We flood everything and everyone. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Everywhere. All of our brothers and sisters, asleep, awake, in between. Doesn't matter. We flood them all. Continuously. So if you were to take a flight off planet, far enough away, into the sacredness, the darkness of space, you would see a glowing planet with billions of gods, all consciously aware. What a wonderful view that is. And the vibrational frequency and harmony is off the charts. Bathe in that vision. We're all parts, all of us, of the collective consciousness, right? We're focused, enough of us are awake enough to be focused on the liberation of this planet, in this solar system, in this quadrant of the galaxy. We have the archangels, the seraphim, the cherubim, the archetypes. We have the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. Many, many, many more. Now the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes, they're a civilization that vibrate a different frequency than we do. We don't see them like we see each other. But they're there. We meet them. We meet them in this life a lot. We just don't recognize it in most cases until after the fact. And it just kind of dawns on us that that was just not, that was an angel. And it's the same message, but delivered in different ways. Isn't it absolutely spectacular, phenomenal to have the opportunity to be alive in this body? To experience physical life, biological life. Absolutely stupendous. Marvelous. A little bit of the bliss inside us bubbles to the surface. Now, a large number, tens of thousands, can surround us at any one time. All you got to do is ask. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can have a large number in a small area. Now, ascended masters, they've mastered ascension into physical form and out of physical form, hold pure God form, pure consciousness. We have ascended into physical form, are mastering physical form, and we're creating our experiences to perfect our creation. And some of us, just maybe, will learn before we leave the body that we are the light. So therefore, when we do leave the body at our choosing, we won't chase the light because we are the light. We are the God force, love, light, energy. So we reach out to all the parts of us as the one, God source, that are awake, that are consciously aware. So we call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, beneath earth, Agartha. Many, many, many civilizations. But yet only those who are consciously aware in those civilizations that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, to form the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. We call upon all light energy beings. All of those out there, endless numbers, trillions. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya. Now, they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this entire universe. They come in trillions of Gugaplexes, in trillions of universes, in every direction. And they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, galactics, the celestials. Many, many, many. Uncountable numbers throughout existence. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, can be with us in this now, in this meditation of forming the circle of light. If they are still unconscious, they can't be with us. They're with us as one, but not consciously. Now, we're only familiar with a handful of them, just a smidgen. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day, and trillions throughout the universes every day. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with are the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Sirians, the Zeta Reticuli, the Feline, the Nords, the Greys, the Reptilians, the Dracos, the Golden Pyramid, the Albion. Many, many, many more. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. And in uncountable numbers, they are with us now consciously. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now consciously. We call out to all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, this meditation, the liberation of this planet. Now, they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we have never seen before. In fact, we only see 1% of that which is. Yet only those who are highly aware and consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, this meditation. This is a reminder to practice this awareness always in the deepest of gratitude and love. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And in the trillions, they are with us now consciously. And we're all one, arm in arm, hand in hand, all gathered in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love. And our God, force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a massive circle of light around the planet, the equator of this planet Earth Gaia area. This circle of light emanates from the God force, love, light, energy, the core existence of who and what we are, the God. And we're flooding everything with it. It is so brilliant and so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take over 1,000 billion suns in this solar system alone to even come close to its radiance. And we're flooding all of our brothers and sisters with this, with our God selves, the God source, of which they are part of too. They're just not consciously aware of it yet. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe, being bathed, flooded, and saturated with the love that we all are. This planet cannot not be liberated. We begin to ascend, levitate above the planet, and as we do, we're met with this massive ocean of glitter everywhere. And it's reflecting trillions of vibrantly colored lights everywhere. And when we zero in on the source of the reflection, we see these perfectly etched mirrors that are multidimensional. You could walk through them, in them, beyond them. And it's all of us as students and teachers, learning from one another, eternally, always. We are all guides for each other on this endless journey. We're all guides for each other. We teach each other. We educate each other. We are students and teachers. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. We're then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We're then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that reminds each and every single one of us, from head to toe, inside and out, eternally, always, perpetually, we are imbued with a white fire armor. This emanates from our God force, love, light, energy. Its frequency is so high, highest of the highest high. Nothing can penetrate it. Nothing can affect it. No demon possession, no attachments, nothing can harm us ever. But only you have the power that if you decide, whether consciously or unconsciously, to lower your vibrational frequency low enough through hatred, anger, greed, deceit, dissent, revenge, envy, worry, stress, fear, anxiety, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then the attachments, then the demons, then all of that. If you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a purple transmuting flame. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance. We send them to pure consciousness. where they are no more. We are then met with the violet ray. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our highest of the highest high of deep eternal love, gratitude, and pure deep eternal peace. We're then met with a golden white pink light. This is the column of light that reminds each of us that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the trees and the forest. We're the soils. We're the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We're the sky, the clouds, the animals. We are everything, everywhere. And all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. So the next time you see an absolutely spectacular sunrise, sunset, or anything of that just captures your attention of just such so beautiful, wonderful, it is you that is the beauty, that is the wonder. It is the God. We continue to ascend above this planet. And as we do, some of us step outside our physical forms. We float effortlessly above them. If we're carrying physical forms, some of us aren't. We come into direct contact with this massive crystalline light tower, of which we built, we created, and it's larger than the solar system. So you just look at the center of the column and you see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this golden white shimmering bowl of light. It is surrounded by uncountable numbers of bands of light, sparkling and shimmering. And they're all sending out these waves of warm mist that penetrate and saturate us all. There's a familiarity with them all. And the golden white ball of light is deep eternal love. And all the rings, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, well-being, great wealth, prosperity, abundance, tranquility, benevolence, on and on and on. And then we discover the familiarity is that all of these waves, these misty waves, are us. It is a mere reflection of the gods that we all are. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We created this sphere over 3 years ago. It holds over 1,300 of our meditations in perpetual motion. The highest of the highest intent. No ego. No mind. Beyond it all. Hundreds of millions of us gathered every day, on and off world, for the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This floods us, saturates us. You can feel it always. It's never ending. So be outrageous. Stop hiding from your spiritual power in some safe little place. I'll join you in a meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. When each of us embrace the understanding with ourselves that we are absolutely fantastic exactly the way we are, and that we finally surrender by stop trying to continuously improve or fix ourselves. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. And we will return here April 5th, 2021, Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.